We have a beekeeper on the show. This is very cool. Her name is Emily Briffa, and she's the owner of TrueBee by Peachey Honey Farm. All right, she's also a certified holistic lifestyle coach. How are you, Emily?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Now, I do have to ask you, obviously, I said it before the break. I mean, have you been stung many times?
I've been stung many times.
Yeah, okay.
My husband probably more than me. Hundreds of stings a day sometimes,
really?
Actually.
Do you ever get used to it?
I would say it always hurts, but bee stings are actually really good for you.
Come on.
Yes, they're actually really good for you. They help bring down inflammation in the body, and a lot of acupuncturists use bee stings. So we try and remember that when we get stung.
Really?
If it's a nice sunny day, the bees.
This is good for me. Just put your arm in there. I just want to feel better.
That's right.
Okay, that's crazy times. Okay, so being a beekeeper, so sorry, where have you based out of then?
So we have a honey farm outside of Ottawa in a little village called St. Andrews West.
Yeah, of course.
And we have over 600 hives spread out 100 kilometers throughout the countryside.
Now, I don't know much about beekeeping, obviously. I'm not a beekeeper, right? So I have a lot of questions here. I'm very curious. It's year-round? You can beekeep?
No, in Canada we beekeep. Usually the bees start waking up. They're hibernating right now in the winter time. They kind of lay dormant, so we've packed them away nice and warmly for the winter.
Packing away the bees
we
for the
pack
season.
them away, and then they'll come out once the snow's gone and the weather starts warming up. Usually in April they'll start coming out of the hive, and then honey flow is usually July and August, and sometimes a later flow in September.
And are there many different types of bees?
There are. We had Sue McDonald talk about the mason bees earlier.
Yeah.
So our honeybees produce honey.
Yeah.
And there's typically around 60,000 to 80,000 bees in a hive.
Wow.
And they can make anywhere from 50 to 150 pounds per hive of honey.
I want to talk about the product, obviously, but
Yes.
I mean, aren't bees in trouble right now? Don't people keep talking about them going extinct or,
yes,
or
there's
something?
definitely a worldwide plight for the honeybee, unfortunately, and lots of beekeepers are losing their bees. We've been quite fortunate, but beekeeping is definitely, it's not the same beekeeping that used to happen 20 years ago.
So how many bees would you say are on your land at any given time?
Well, we have bee yards, so they're spread out throughout the countryside because honeybees fly up to 5 miles to collect nectar.
Okay.
So we can't put them too close together, so we have them spread out throughout the countryside.
So the thousands, though? Like
thousands, yes, hundreds of thousands.
All right, this is exciting. I find this exciting. This is fun. Okay, so how long have you had these products out for then?
So my husband and I have been beekeeping for over 20 years.
20 years?
Yes, and we used to sell our honey bulk in big drums to national packers. And as I became more interested and had a passion for healthy living and food, I realized that actually the best honey is local unpasteurized honey.
Okay.
And there really wasn't, it was becoming really hard to find local unpasteurized honey on grocery store shelves. So a few years ago we made it our mission to pack every single last drop of our honey ourselves and retail it to the local community. So we have TrueBee honey, and we have lots of different products, and it's all unpasteurized.
So what's the difference then, pasteurized versus unpasteurized?
So pasteurized is when the honey is heated. And usually with heating comes ultrafiltration, so you lose a lot of the pollens and the nutrients, the vitamins, the enzymes, and the minerals that are in the honey. So we work really hard at preserving the integrity of the honey, and we extract in small batches. And there's really nothing like the taste of real local honey.
Well, I'm hoping to find out, but
Would you like to try some?
if I would stop asking you questions, right? I mean, now why from a distance does this one look sort of like it's red or raspberry-ish?
Yeah, so this is a darker honey. This is a buckwheat honey.
Why would different honeys be different colors?
Well, it usually depends on the flowers that the honeybees have visited.
Yeah.
So this particular honey is a buckwheat honey. It's really high in antioxidants. It's from the buckwheat flower, and it is becoming increasingly rare to find and for the bees to make because not a lot of farmers are planting buckwheat anymore. But we're always really lucky to have a nice kind of supply for our customers.
Okay, sure.
And it's actually been proving buckwheat honey more effective than cough syrup at treating sore throats and coughs.
Wow.
So really good to have in your pantry in the wintertime for sure.
I know singers too like using honey, like they warms them up or something like that.
Yes, and it coats the throat.
Yeah.
Honey's a humectant too, so it draws in moisture.
Oh, what now?
humectant.
Oh, yeah.
So it draws. So what that means really is a fancy word for drawing in moisture.
That was a fancy word.
That's why it's so moisturizing.
Okay. All right.
And then we have our raw honey, which, as you can see, is thick.
Much thicker, right?
Much thicker, and it's going to have really high concentrations of local pollens. So this is an excellent honey for healing or treating seasonal allergies.
Oh,
so
really?
if you start now in the winter, usually by spring you'll have noticed some relief when
because you're just all
allergy
full of honey,
season
and the honey
comes.
is just like your own beehive.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what happens is you're eating the local pollens,
Yeah.
and so you're becoming, you're boosting your immune system.
Okay.
And come springtime, you kind of build up a natural defense.
Okay, and
to
the
those.
third?
And the third is our regular unpasteurized liquid honey.
Yeah.
And again, when you're really wanting to look for honey with healing properties and medicinal properties, you want to source local, and you want to make sure it's unpasteurized so that it still has all the enzymes, the vitamins, and the nutrients that make it a superfood.
All right, let me try the darker one,
Sure.
I guess, right? And,
so the darker one is a more distinct flavor. It's kind of like molasses.
that's not a lot on that spoon, by the way. It's,
Oh,
you know, that's
we
not
can.
much.
Well, I'll leave you the jar.
Just joking. Wow, but that is really, that tastes great. Like that.
Yeah, there's nothing like a local honey. A lot of people, if they see it at the shows for the first time or they've tried our products, they kind of say, oh, that's like the honey my grandfather used to make, or my uncle used to have bees, and that taste, that reminds me of that.
That
so
is
that's
very
what
good.
we like.
The Showstoppers local winter shopping extravaganza is this weekend for 2 days.
Yes, we're so excited. It's a wonderful, wonderful event by Catherine Landry, who's the marketing genius behind Call Betty, and she's kind of the fairy godmother for everything lovely and local. And she's wonderful at putting together these local events that really celebrate community and local things. So you get to meet the makers and the producers of your favorite local products.
Wonderful. And if people can't make it out this weekend to see you, they go to TrueBee.ca.
Yeah, they can go to TrueBee.ca. We have an About Us page, a retailers page where shoppers can find our honey at local Ottawa retailers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
and this is good
you.
stuff.
Thank you very
You didn't
much.
get stung during this interview?
No,
so
we were
that's-
good.
that's
No,
always
no
good news.
stings.
All right, coming up, how about this? The Geek and Gaming Garage sale is happening in a couple of weekends from now. More details on the way.